students, hope you all will be doing well. Today, we will study SI quantities and base units. Alright, so here's a look at our agenda for this explainer. We're going to start with the basics. What is a quantity? Then we'll jump into the SI base units. After that, we'll see how we use them to measure everything from galaxies to atoms. We'll then cover the rules of measurement, and finally, see some unit conversion in action. Okay, first up, what is a quantity? Before we can measure anything, we have to agree on what we're measuring with. This is where having a standard system becomes so crucial for science. So, a physical quantity is basically any feature of something that you can measure. But here's the most important part. It's not just a number. It's a number times and a unit. Think about it. 27.5 centimeters is a clear measurement. Just 27.5? Well, that doesn't really tell us much, does it? Let's really dig into why that unit is so critical. Imagine someone tells you a joule has a mass of 10. What does that even mean? Is it heavy? Is it light? Without a unit, that number is totally useless. Exactly. That 10 could be 10 pounds, 10 carats, or 10 grains, and those are all incredibly different amounts. This kind of confusion is a complete non-starter in science, which is why a single, standardized system is just so essential. And to fix that exact problem, scientists all over the world came up with a universal language for measurement. So let's move on to our next section, the SI base units. This system is called the System International, or just SI for short. It's the global standard, and you can think of it as being built on 7 core pillars, these fundamental units that pretty much all of science rests on. And here they are, the magnificent 7. This table shows you those core quantities, things like mass, length, time, and their official SI units. What's really amazing is that just about every other unit in science is just some combination of these 7. Now, here's where it gets mind-blowing. With just these 7 little units, we can literally measure the entire universe. So let's see just how we can go from the scale of galaxies all the way down to atoms. For example, using the simple meter, we can measure the distance to the edge of the observable universe. And yeah, that's a 4 with 26 zeros after it. Just a staggering number. But on the total opposite end of the spectrum, we can use that same unit, the meter, to measure something impossibly tiny, like the diameter of an atom's nucleus. Okay, obviously nobody wants to write out a number with 26 zeros. It's just not practical. So to handle this huge range, scientists have a really clever shortcut, prefixes. And this table shows you exactly how they work. A prefix, like tera, just means a trillion, or 10 to the 12th. And way down at the other end, pico means a trillionth. It's a super elegant system for making huge and tiny numbers easy to work with. Alright, so we've got our units, we've got our prefixes, but to make sure our measurements are actually accurate, there are some really important rules we need to follow. And that brings us to section 4, the rules of measurement. A huge concept here is significant figures. This is what tells us the precision of our measurement. The rules are pretty simple. All non-zero numbers count. Any zeros stuck in the middle count, but the zeros at the very beginning, nope, they're just placeholders. But what about a number like 600? Those zeros at the end are a bit ambiguous, right? To clear that up, we use scientific notation. Writing it as 6 times 10 to the 2 tells us there's only one significant figure. But 6.00 times 10 to the 2, that tells us it's precise to 3 significant figures. No more guesswork. Now, here's another rule that trips a lot of people up. Converting units for area and volume. You can't just use the simple length conversion. For area, you've got to square the conversion factor. And for volume, well, you've got to cube it. This is a super common mistake, so it's a really critical detail to get locked in. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's actually put this into practice. We're going to walk through a real example to see how it all comes together. Alright, here's our challenge. Calculate the number of micrograms in 1.0 milligram. So we're trying to figure out how these two really small units of mass relate to each other. So here's how we tackle this, step by step. The trick is to first relate both milligrams and micrograms back to their base unit, which is grams. Since they both equal 1 gram, we can then set them equal to each other. From there, it's just a little bit of algebra to solve for 1.0 milligram. It's a really logical process. And there we have it. The answer is 1,000. So there are 1,000 micrograms in 1 milligram. This is a perfect example of how those prefixes we talked about work in the real world. All right, let's do a quick recap. The big takeaways are physical quantities always need a number and a unit. The SI system is our global standard with its 7 foundational base units. Prefixes are our best friends for handling huge or tiny scales. And finally, the rules for significant figures and conversions make sure our science is accurate. And to finish up, I'll leave you with a little challenge question. Now that you know the rules for volume conversion, how many cubic centimeters are in this box, which is 1,000th of a cubic meter? Give it some thought. Thanks for your attention.
Key vocabulary related to this topic is displayed, sorted according to multiple exam boards. These words require serious attention during preparation because of their importance and must never be neglected. In addition, analysis of past paper is provided for each exam board and paper style. Focus on this carefully as it will greatly assist in improving your preparation. Try to understand the context and practical use of each keyword rather than learning them by heart alone. Frequent practice with these terms in past questions will enhance your accuracy and overall performance.
Please subscribe our channel to get more educational videos. Thank you.